Volume 1 finale. As Grace and Michael made it home, they picked up their vehicle that they left at the B&B after arriving back from Hawaii. Well, we made it home. Yes, we did. It's one to remember, Grace. We have a lot to say. Let's get home. Can I do one thing before we take off from the B&B? The fact that they let us leave our vehicle here, can we just sit here for a moment? I have something for you. What's that, Grace? I made this card for you. There's a reason why I made it. That's beautiful, Grace. You made that? Yes, I did. I wanted to talk to you about budgets. I know tax season's coming up and we spend a lot of money. Can we talk about it? Yeah, we can talk about it. I know our expense account is pretty broad. I'm kind of concerned that we spend more money than we have coming in. Wait a second. I go over my finances with my financial planner. Maybe I made the mistake of not going over it with you. I bring in a lot more money than I tell you, and maybe I should go over it with you more thoroughly. I made that mistake before. Can we sit and talk about it tonight? Yeah, but let's talk about something real briefly here since we're here. We got our luggage in the car, we got everything situated, and I want to tell you why I handmade this card. I don't want us to be frugal, but I don't want us spending money we don't have. So I need to know what is coming in and coming out. And I want to know by tax season, when we do our taxes, I want you to sit down and I want you to go over it with me when it comes time to do taxes. You don't have to go over it with me tonight. Just when it comes to doing taxes, I want an outline of what we're spending and I want to see a budget by the time we do taxes about our overall expenses. I want to see an expense account and I want to see what our expenses will be for the year of 2023. Is that fair enough? You're sounding like a CEO's wife. Wow, Grace, I'm impressed. You got it. I'm totally with that. That's totally responsible and I totally respect where you're coming from. Yes. And by the way, people have asked me for money. And the reason why I want to address it is because they think because you have money, they can try to scam me out of money. Oh, really? Since when? Well, since I got married to you. They know that you have money and they try to manipulate me. Is this why you've been stressed out? Yes, that's why I've been stressed out. And I'm telling you what's going on, why I go to therapy. So my therapist wanted me to address it with you because of how overwhelmed I've been. Well, now that you're telling me this, we're going to deal with them directly as I owe it to you as I'm your husband. I have to protect you. So we'll deal with it when we get home. I want to know first off, whoever's doing this to you, I want to know their name and I want to address them directly or take it a step further. Well, we can talk about that when we get home. Let's get home. Let's go see our kids. Let's go talk to mom, dad, Mrs. Yakashoto. Let's go deal with our life now. But like I said, honey, I had to tell you where I stand on some issues. It's too important. My therapist told me to address it, and now I've addressed it. Okay, baby, let's go. So, Grace addresses the very big issue, the big elephant in the room. And boy, does Grace feel much better. And so does Michael. Michael's going to handle it like the man that he is. Grace and Michael get home, unpack the car, and have a lot of stories to tell the family. Grace and Michael huddle together and hug before they go into the house. Michael, do we really have to unpack the car right now? Let's just go and see our family because I literally just want to race in there and hug my kids right now. Go ahead, Grace. I'll get the stuff. Don't worry about the luggage. I'll be in a few minutes. I gotta think. I feel like jogging around the whole house right now. I'm a little pissed off right now. What do you mean you're pissed off? I'm a little pissed off that anybody took advantage of you. Okay, if you need to take a jog or you need to take a walk around the neighborhood to cool off, yeah, I might need to cool off a little bit because really, if somebody's manipulating you and taking advantage of you, you telling me this, I feel like going to the gym and going to a punching bag and punching out a punching bag right now. Because I really don't want you to be taken advantage of. And nor do I feel like, anyway, you might see me going to the gym today. I don't go to the gym a lot, but I need to go to the gym. I might need to punch a punching bag right now just to get my anger out on something. A punching bag's perfect, honey. If you need a punching bag, go to the gym. By all means. I need to go talk to my kids, honey. They're waiting. I think they see you out. They're looking out the window, so go ahead, Grace. As Grace goes in and sees her kids and starts kissing Melissa, Elijah, and Jenny, she hugs not only the kids, but she hugs mom and dad and Mrs. Yokoshona, and she hugs Michelle, Shelley, and Jessica. It's obviously a reunion without so many words. Grace, wow, you look so beautiful. You look radiant, said Mom. That's a tan. Hawaii tans are so much different than regular tans. It sure is, said Kelly, the maid. You look absolutely beautiful, said Michelle. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Well, I'm a little exhausted from the plane ride. I didn't realize how tired I was, but now that I've gotten home, I just want to sit down with my baby girl and my kids right now. Go ahead. We'll let you unpack and all that stuff later. Just go relax with the kids. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you're all here. We have a few souvenirs that we brought home from Hawaii too, so just remind us to make sure that you get your souvenirs. As as Grace goes into the TV room, she holds her kids tightly and holds on to little Melissa. As Melissa is now being bottle fed on formula, it's a lot easier on Grace. So how was bottle feeding Melissa, Miss Yokoshana? She was the perfect angel. I couldn't ask for a better baby. You have such a delightful child. And as for my grandchildren, they sure like that David series. I'm going to go watch my Hulu series on TV downstairs. I'll see you later. Okay, Mrs. Yokoshona. I guess you need a break. I sure do. I need a vacation too. Enjoy. Okay, so as Grace enjoys the little time with the kids, Michael comes in with the luggage. Hey, Michelle, I got some luggage here. Yeah, it looks like you got your hands full, said Michelle. Here, let me help you out. Michael, just leave the luggage in the dining room. You can always worry about that later. Yeah, I'm not really worried about luggage right now. At least we didn't have to travel too, well, we traveled light this time. Are you thirsty? Yeah, I am thirsty. I'm going to the gym and I'm going to go work out. You just came home. Put it this way, I need a punching bag right now. I'm about to punch somebody out right now. What's going on? It's a long story. Somebody basically tried to take advantage of my wife, and I feel like punching them out right now. Really? Oh, this is starting to sound like a soap opera. Not really, but in reality, going to punch somebody out is not how I respond to people. But going to the gym and working out is the right response. I'm going to think it through and go to the gym. I'll be back in a little bit. I'll see you all later. Whoever takes the luggage up and does me a favor, I'll give you an extra $20. I'll see you later. Michael walks out the door. $20. Extra $20 to take up the luggage? And Kelly and Shelly look at each other and they said, I'll do it for $20. And they take the luggage upstairs. Listen, he's the kind of guy that if you do him a favor, said Michelle, he'll pay you good money. So he means what he says. If you want to help out around the house, he'll pay you extra money. And Jessica looks at them and says, yeah, I'll do it for $20. Well, then just do it, said Michelle. I think Shelly beat you to it. Yeah, I think Shelly already beat you to it. She already took the luggage upstairs. Oh, so how's mom doing? Mom's doing good. She's taking care of the kids in the TV room. So grandma and grandpa are upstairs and they're watching TV in the kids' room. They're watching Fox News. So it's just us girls in here, the staff, that is. How's the house cleaning going? Oh, it's all done. Does anybody need me around anymore? Because I can go home and clock out. Well, wait till he comes back because he'll pay you. No, I can always come back and get my pay later. I need to get home. I'm kind of worn out. Kelly, if you need to get your paycheck, he'll pay you when he gets back. No, actually, I have a lot of things going on at home myself. Being a mom and a housewife is a job in itself. So I'll come back later and I'll pick up my paycheck later. Okay, Kelly, thanks for everything. We'll talk to you later, Kelly, said Michelle. Okay, talk to you later. All right, Michelle, you got a handle on this. Anybody else need to go home early? Shelly, Jessica, do you need to go home? Because really, everybody that needs to be home can go ahead and go home. I'm sticking around. Shelly says, I'll stick around. I have nothing to do tonight. Okay, so Shelly, Jessica, you can go home. Okay, I'll go home. I can make plans. Okay, Jessica, have a good night. We'll talk to you later. Okay, so Jessica left. So it's just going to be Shelly and myself, Michelle, and we're going to stick around for the rest of the remainder of the night. So we got two people that decided to take the night off, which is fine by me, and it's us two. So let me go in and just tell Grace what's going on. So Michelle goes in and tells Grace what's going on. Hey Grace, yes, I just want to let you know we let the two girls go home early because We're overstaffed and there's too many people in the kitchen. Is that okay? Oh, that's fine. I'm hanging out with the kids. We're watching the David series. So I need time with my family. So you're free to just take a break. Okay. It's just going to be Shelly and I. That's fine. Just take a break while I'm hanging out with the kids. Mom and dad are upstairs, by the way. Okay. Thank you. So as the night wears on, Grace spends time with the kids and relaxes as the girls take a break and break for the evening. Shelley, you're free to go if you want to go home. Okay, that sounds good. As long as there's one of us here, I'm just going to tell Grace and double check because I'm pretty sure we can put the kids to bed. Grace, do you want us to put the kids to bed? Yeah, it's time to put the kids down for bed and then Shelley can go home as long as either you or Shelley can go home. So you decide who's staying and who's going. Okay, but we need to put the kids to bed. It's time to put Melissa to bed. It's time to close up for the night. Okay, all right. As they discuss who's going to stay and who's going to go. Okay, it's between you and me. So, Shelly, do you want to stay or go? Because if you stay, you're going to stay in the guest room, or if you go, you could just go home for the night. Shelly contemplates and says, I'll stay the night. I'll stay in the guest room. Okay, so I'm going to go home after we tuck the kids in bed. We'll make sure they brush their teeth and get ready for the rest of the night. Okay, so you're going to stay, Shelly? Yeah, I'm going to stay overnight in the guest room. Okay, all right. Grace, Shelly's going to stay the night. She's going to help out overnight. She'll be the overnight girl, and I'm going to go home. So we'll get the kids ready for bed. Let's go, kids. Okay, and I got Melissa, said Grace. Okay, come on, kids. Come on, Jenny. Come on, Elijah. Let's get ready for bed. As Shelley and Michelle get everything situated for bedtime, Michelle puts the kids to bed and tucks them into bed. As Grace goes upstairs to kiss the kids goodnight, Michael comes home. Ugh, what a workout. Wow, I didn't think I would work out like that. Michelle comes downstairs and so does Grace. Okay, thank you, Shelley. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michelle. We'll see you later, Michelle. Okay, we'll see you later. Okay, thank you, Grace. All right, bye, Michael. What's going on? Well, Shelly's staying overnight and I'm going home for the night. Okay, I'll make sure everybody gets paid tomorrow, okay? Okay, I'll talk to you later. Michelle's leaving for the night. Whew, what a workout. Where's Grace? She's in the TV room. Okay. Grace? Yeah? How'd your night go? Very good. Very organized. I'm exhausted. I just worked out like I never worked out before. I worked out for 3 hours. Okay, you can explain to me the workout. I just got to settle up with Shelly. Shelly, you're good to go. You're on break. You can go ahead and go upstairs in the guest room. Everything's ready to go. I made sure the bed was refreshed. So you're off for the rest of the night as long as the kids are sleeping and everything's okay. Just make sure you keep track of your hours. And that's it for the night. Have a good, rested, long, sleep. That's something we all need. Okay, said Shelley. I know you sound tired. Oh yeah, I'm so burned out right now. Ugh. Good night, Shelley. Sleep well. Okay, that's it for me. I'm about to retire, said Shelley's friend. Really? Who is that, Shelley? Said Grace. That's your friend? I overheard Shelley's conversation with her friend. Okay, you two have a good conversation. Make sure next time when you're talking, that you don't have it on speaker. Okay, Shelley said. If you're going into retirement, let us know about it. I'll talk to you later, Shelley, said Michael. They're ready to go into retirement too. Who wouldn't? I would love to be in retirement. So what happened, Michael? Why were you at the gym for 3 hours? Let's just say I met some guys there and we started sparring and we had a good time. I just started bonding. I like bonding. That's good. I'm glad that you like bonding. I was bonding with my children. Hmm. Grace, I can understand why you drink water like you do. So you're bonding with the children. That's excellent. So, Grace, nothing like being home again. I needed to get out. Yeah, for 3 hours of sparring? I never knew you sparred or boxed. Grace, actually, I'm an athlete of all sorts. I told you I'm an athlete. I just didn't know I still had it in me. Listen, I'm a very strong, athletic man. And when somebody puts me in a situation or traps me or boxes me in, I have to do what I have to do to protect. I'm a very overprotective kind of man. I initially, when you told me that story, my first reaction is to protect you. That's why I went to the gym. That's why I wanted to punch out this person for what they were doing. Because I know basically they're taking advantage of you. And I know you're vulnerable. See, that's what a real man does. You know what I mean, Grace? The point is a real man protects. They don't beat their wife up. They don't sit there and punch their wife out and sit there and fracture their nose and do all the things that they do and take advantage of them financially or whatever they decide to do. The whole point to your whole life story is that you are taken advantage of because you're vulnerable and you're innocent and naive once in a while. I think you're much more street smart in the beginning, but because you got worn down by life and life's bad situations, that you just got to the point where you just tossed your hands up and you let people walk on you, not because you wanted to or you had to. It's because that's the way people are. They just take advantage of people and they take advantage of people that are smart. Smart people get taken advantage of. Oftentimes, they don't realize they're being taken advantage of until it's too late. So, Grace, my whole point is I just wanted to take it out on the big bag, the heavy bag. And as I'm punching the heavy bag, this guy notices how I'm punching the heavy bag. He invites me to go over there and spar with him to have a real boxing match. Not to fight him, but to train. Listen, my athletic ability allows me to spar and fight hard. And I'm going to fight hard for you. A lot of times from the beginning, from the end to the beginning, since I've known you, that man that sparred with you, he was like Mike Tyson in a ring with you. He fought with you like a man fights with another man. Yet you're a woman, a weaker vessel. You're the weaker link. He beat you up like as if you were in a boxing match. He fractured your nose. The point is that you're a woman. No man has the right to hit a woman that way. Who was Evander Holyfield in the boxing match against Mike Tyson? Who in at home? Were you Evander Holyfield that night? What did it feel like that night when he knocked you out in the sternum? When he punched you and you were knocked to the floor and you lost your ability to breathe. See, I know what kind of man you were dealing with. He's no man, he's a coward. A lot of people don't know how to say it like it is. That's the point. The point is you were dealing with a total coward. He's no man. He couldn't stand up to a real man. That's why he went to jail so many times. That's why there's protection orders. That's why when there's a protection order against a man like this, a man that doesn't know how to treat a woman, it goes beyond that point. So I could sit here and go on and on and on and on about how many times men have abused women. I understand there's cases where women abuse men. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of issues that women have been abusive with men, but I'm talking about a man who fractures a woman's nose to the point where she can barely see out her eyes. Where are the men that stand up for a woman like you? That night I saw you. You were banged up, battered, and fractured to the point that you needed help that night. And not only that, you're beautiful. And there was no reason for it whatsoever. So why not pump some gas in your car? Why not ask for your phone number? In this case, I gave you my business card, but that's beside the point. Now we're married. So do I get a little protective? Hell yeah, do I get a little protective? You were almost beaten to death. That guy choked you. He strangled you several times. You don't tell me everything that happened. You don't tell me the truth. You're afraid to tell me how bad it was. I know because I read the police reports. You don't think I don't know? I did my research. I did my homework on your ex husband. They all felt sorry for him. Everybody gave him credit where he didn't deserve the credit at all. Your ex husband was a cruel and unusual suspect. And he probably abused other women before, and he probably didn't stop abusing women even after he got done abusing you. I'm not sure where he ended up, unless he ended up in a gutter. And it wasn't the first or last time you dealt with an abusive man before. I know that much. It's a pattern of behaviors. It's a pattern. And you broke that cycle. That's why therapy is so effective, because once you break the pattern of an abuser cycle of abuse, you start living again. You start living a normal life again. You start going to the store, you start feeling like you actually have something going for yourself for a change. That's why our conversation is going somewhere finally. When you ask me the question about doing a budget, it sounds reasonable. You're starting to sound like my wife. You sound like my wife when you're asking questions about doing taxes and reasonable. You're asking reasonable questions. So, yes, it makes sense when you're talking about doing taxes and tax seasons and budgets and why you're concerned that we might be spending more money than we should be and why we should pull back in spending. These are things that are normal. It's called being conservative with your money. Grace, you're asking basic questions that any reasonable person should ask in a marriage. You should never be afraid to ask these questions. The fact that you went to your therapist to confront these issues because you had anxiety over it. Why would you feel afraid to talk to me about it? It's because you were battered the last time you asked your ex husband about finances because he was abusive. He didn't care about what you thought. He treated you like you were a dumbed down woman. I don't think you're dumb at all. You're one of the smartest women I know. When you get on that computer and you start telling me about art therapy and how it applies to life or applies to artwork, and I think about how broad your understanding is. Your understanding about the arts and entertainment and the things that you know. Do you realize how intelligent you are? So what if your subscriber list on your YouTube page is only 500 people? So what? It's not about how many people are on your page. It's the content of the information that you share. So if they care about what you say, it's about what you offer, what you bring to the table. Does it matter to the subscriber that's listening? If one person cares about what you said, then that's all that matters. If I only had one employee that showed up at work on time and I had 20 other employees that just blew it off, then those 20 employees can be replaced. Grace, if it happened to me, it could happen to anybody. If I had to start all over with a bunch of new employees, I know I would be able to interview and I know I could replace employees. I would hope that would never happen, believe me. But people can be replaced. That is true. But I don't want to ever be in a position that ever happens. But believe me, there are people that can be replaced. That doesn't mean that I'm saying that people are throwaway people. I'm just saying that in this world, there's such a thing as this turnstile or this revolving door. And that's what the social media is like. It's like a revolving door. Don't put your personal information out there. It's like putting your pearls in swine, as the Bible says. It's a revolving door. Social media is like putting your pearls in swine. It's a revolving door of BS. Don't put your information out there so that somebody can trample all over your good hard work. You work hard for something, value it. That's where your core values are. Value what you do and value your family. Make sure you keep it all in perspective though. Keep your put God first, family, God, family, and God, well, I'm sorry, God, country, and family. Keep it all in perspective, Grace. Honey, your speech was so well said that honestly, I need a drink of water to digest all this. All I want to know is that in the end, we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it wherever we go in life. We're gonna take whatever we learn. We're gonna public speak. We're gonna motivate people. We're gonna teach people how to live after trauma and abuse. We will. We're going to be effective too. I don't know who we have to change, where we're going to change lives and how we're going to change lives doing it, but we're going to be effective. Listen, I could do all the talking, but listen, it takes more than talking about it, Grace. We have to walk it out in faith. That's not always easy to do. There are days that I get down on myself too. There are days I feel I'm filled with anxiety and stress, and I have to go to a heavy bag and punch it out. And sometimes you have to take it out on the pavement and walk a 5K. You know as well as I do, that's how it really is. The greats. However, we deal with our problems, that's one thing. We don't punch or hit anybody. We've been victims of trauma and abuse, and we're survivors. We survived a lot of things. And the reason why I say we is because what happened to you has impacted my life. What he did to you impacts me because I love you and you're my wife now. You're not his you're not his anymore. You're my wife. And as long as you're my wife, I'm going to be the one to say what goes on. He can't touch you, hit you, punch you ever again. No man is ever going to hurt you again like that, ever again. And for that reason alone, I want you to know you're my wife and I love you. And then you come to a season end.